Virtual Upline podcast. My name is Bob Heilig, your host and the founder of Your Virtual Upline. This is the podcast for the new wave of network marketing leaders that want to make an impact and aren't just building a downline, they're building a better world. Join us each week and learn how to build a profitable network marketing business that gives you complete freedom so that you can give back to the world in an even bigger way. Welcome to episode 67 of the Your Virtual Upline podcast. This is the founder of Your Virtual Upline and your host for today, Bob Heilig. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different episode. I know that I promised you that we're going to be doing original content each week, which we still are, but there's a little bit of a special exception today. So today I'm going to be sharing with you a recording of a training that I did way back when I first started the journey of doing kind of what I'm doing today, creating Your Virtual Upline, some online training. And it was an audio recording of a training called the 4 Mental Enemies of Success. So it's teaching you how to have the mindset of a top earner in network marketing. And this was a training that I had kind of become known for in my company. I used to give, people used to love it. It really hits home on really knowing what you're going to have to deal with and what to expect to be successful. Because I think a lot of people, their problem is they really don't understand like what success takes in a network marketing business. All of the things that you have to put up with and deal with, their mindset is not in the right place. So I recorded this audio training. It's been on my website for the last couple of years, and maybe many of you have had a chance to get that audio training and you've listened to it. It's probably I really believe it's one of the best trainings that I've ever done on mindset. The reason why I want to share it with you here today on the podcast is because I'm actually getting really close to launching my new website, and that will no longer be on the website, so it will not be available anymore. So I do want to actually turn it into a podcast. So I'm going to share the recording here with you. I know you're going to get a ton of value out of this, and I think it's going to be a wake-up call for a lot of you that maybe are feeling frustrated and you've been complaining because things are not happening quick enough. I think this is going to be a wake-up call for a lot of you, because maybe you're going to realize that you haven't worked exactly hard enough. You haven't dealt with as much adversity. I share with you what almost every top earner in this profession has dealt with. I literally go into the numbers, like the specific numbers that I had to recruit. I share with you all of the things that at some point you're going to face in your business that, quite frankly, when a lot of people face these 4 mental enemies, these are the things that knock them out of their business. But I want to make sure you know them ahead of time. You're prepared for them so that when you do face them, you say, okay, this is a normal part of the journey. Maybe some of you are facing them right now. It'll help you be able to get through these challenges and understand that this is all necessary on the road to success. So I'll turn it over to the recording and check back with you when we're done. Hey, Bob Heilig here, Your Virtual Upline. Just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for requesting a copy of this free audio training. And I'm excited because I truly believe that this could be one of the most powerful trainings that you'll ever have in your network marketing business. I know it certainly was for me. And we're going to be talking about the 4 mental enemies of success. And, I want to let you know that this is really where the rubber hits the road. Understanding the philosophies of this business is critical to your success. See, unless you change the way that you think, there's really no amount of how-tos that are going to offer a real solution for you. Most of the time, it's not that your actions are wrong, it's that you don't keep doing them long enough to see the results because you don't understand these 4 mental enemies that we're going to talk about today. And see, once you have an awareness of what they are, it makes it so much easier to deal with them when they show up. Now notice, I said when, not if they show up. See, every leader in this profession deals with these every day. And you're just going to have to learn to include each and every one of them as an eventual part of your success. So let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes here, and let's start out with mental enemy of success number 1, which is rejection. Look, more people are going to tell you no than yes. When you offer your products or your opportunity, a lot of people are going to say no. And look, this is tough to handle because it comes from people that you know, your family, your friends. See, I thought I would be okay with this. You know, I've got a background in medical sales and I deal with rejection all the time, but this was different. And see, the problem is that we have expectations of what we think people we know are going to do and say, and when they don't meet those expectations, that's where we run into problems. Here's another issue that you're going to have to deal with: negative people. Let me just tell you this. I was given a piece of advice by an individual that has been extremely successful in this industry, literally has made tens of millions of dollars. And he said to me, he said, Bob, you need to be really careful who you listen to and who you take advice from. Because if you buy somebody's opinion, you also buy their lifestyle. And unless that person is living the kind of life that you want to live, then be very careful to not take their advice when it comes to business and money and opportunity. And what was interesting is it was funny how all of my broke friends, like literally the brokest ones that I had, were the ones that were the loudest and that were the most negative and tried to get me to not do this. You know, here's what it took at the end of the day. It took courage on my part, and that's what it's going to take for you. It's going to take courage for you to get out there and deal with this. See, courage is feeling the fear and taking action anyway. And you're going to have to learn to basically gut this out. You have to make no your vitamin. You've got to fail your way to success. You've got to be unstoppable. You've got to be relentless when you're building a business. So you've got to have the courage after you face rejection again and again and again. After somebody tells you they're going to show up for your meeting and they don't come, they stop returning your phone calls, they don't return your text messages. Look, it takes courage to deal with that. It takes courage to go out and start talking to people. You know, when people see you and say, oh, there they go again with another one of those pyramid schemes. Listen, let's just get that out there right now. How many of you have heard somebody say that to you? Well, let me give you a little tip of something that you can do and say. See, when people ask me sometimes, depending on the mood I'm in, when they ask me what I do for a living, here's what I say to them. I say, well, have you ever heard of one of those pyramid things? And most people say, well, yeah, of course. I say, well, I'm at the top of one of those. See, guys, I have fun. And I'm going to tell you this much. If you're not having fun doing this business, you're doing it wrong. Look, every day you're going to deal with people that want to knock you down, people that don't have dreams that are going to want to try and steal yours. You just have to not take yourself so seriously and understand that this is a natural part of the process. Look, let me tell you something that, you know, when we talk about these types of people, let me tell you something that's actually really sad once you understand it. Most people will not participate in their own rescue. Now, I remember the first time I read that, I said, wow, most people won't participate in their own rescue. You have a vehicle that will allow them to create their own future. You have a product or service that everybody needs and uses. You have training and coaching where they'll be in business for themselves but not by themselves. You have leadership of people that have proven that it's possible that you can live your dreams. It's possible that you've got a shot at creating a fortune, and all you are saying is, here's an opportunity. Look, don't take it personal when they say no. They're not saying no to you, they're saying no to themselves. They're saying no to living a bigger life. They're saying no to what's going on in their head because they're suffering from possibility blindness. They can't see themselves doing more. They don't want to do the extra work necessary. So they're saving you time. Look, they know that they're lazy. Don't try to convince them to say yes. And in order to succeed in this industry, you've got to be a risk taker. Look, you have to risk somebody saying no to you. You've got to go out and fail again and again and again. You're different. Look, you're an entrepreneur. You're strange. You are not like most other people. See, most people just can't see themselves doing any better, but you're different. See, you see things that they can't see. When you said yes to your network marketing opportunity, what you really did was you said yes to a bigger life. You said, yes, I'm tired of playing small. You said yes to providing for yourself and your family. There's something in you that says, I'm not mentally fit to work for somebody else the rest of my life. And you just have to understand that. Now, here's something else that's important. What I want you to do is I want you to learn from my mistakes. Do not make people feel bad for not wanting to join your business. I remember in the beginning when somebody told me no, I used to get so pissed off. I used to say, fine, stay broke. I don't care. And the bottom line was this: that shut the door forever for me ever recruiting them. So what you want to do is don't make people feel bad. Leave the door open. What I understand now is when somebody tells you no, what they're really saying to you is not now. See, circumstances change for people. The next time you approach them, things might be different. Your story might be different. You might have had more success, so make sure that you leave that door open. Do you want to, look, if you want to decrease the effects of rejection, here's what you need to do. Increase your exposures. Activity is the cure to any problem you will ever have in this business. If you are a serious part-time builder, you should be talking to 2 to 4 new people a day. Look, some of you are not even talking to 1 new person a day, and you think you're serious. Can I ask you something? What are you doing? How long does it take for you to approach a single person about your business? 5 to 10 minutes tops? Look, how much would you expect to be paid at your job if you didn't even work 10 minutes a day? And why do you think that this is any different? Look, it's your willingness to do this every day, to be consistent, that's going to determine if you're successful. It's the simple disciplines that compound over time. Now, here's the catch. Here's where we struggle. You cannot focus on results in the beginning. See, once you start to see the results, 90% of the work is already done. You're going to do a lot of things in the beginning of your business that you don't get paid for. But if you're consistent and you continue to do that, you will start to see results and develop momentum in your business that will eventually pay you way more than what you're actually doing. Okay, mental enemy of success number 2, deception. People are going to lie to you. Your friends and family will lie to you. One of the most frustrating things for new people to deal with is this: when you give somebody a sample of your product or a video to watch about your opportunity and they do nothing with it. They keep telling you that they will, but you spend the next 2 weeks chasing them around. And then all of a sudden you can't get a hold of them. They stop returning your texts. They don't answer your calls. Look, it will happen to every single one of you. It happens to me. It's always going to happen that way. Look, it's like when you invite somebody to a meeting and they tell you they will be there and they don't show up. Like, I'm talking about the morning of the meeting, you talk to them, you text them on their way and they tell you they'll be there, and then nothing. It's literally like the Bermuda Triangle around the hotel swallows them up. Look, it's going to happen to all of us. I see it every single meeting that I do. The people that are standing there in the hallway, right, waiting for their guests to come, looking at their phone, you see it every day, and I feel bad for them. Like, I feel like just walking up to them sometimes and just letting them know, listen, they're not coming. Why don't you just get into the meeting? Here's what you need to understand. Most people live their entire lives as volunteer victims. They work jobs that pay them just enough to keep them from quitting, and they work just hard enough to keep from getting fired. They go to jobs that they hate, and then they pray that they don't lose them. Look, that's no way to live your life. That's why you're here. That's why you're listening to this right now. There's something in you that says, I want more. So once again, don't make people feel bad when they lie to you. Understand deception is and always will be a part of this process. And the bottom line is it's them just telling you it's not the right time. So when you come across it, just let it go, move on, and schedule a follow-up with them 60 to 90 days later. Mental enemy number 3, apathy. The definition of apathy is lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. This is, I promise, going to be a wake-up call for many of you. In my almost 10-year network marketing career, the last 5 years specifically, because the first 4 years I pretty much sucked at network marketing, so we're not even going to count that, but the last 5 years, I have personally recruited over 400 people. Now, I couldn't even begin to guess how many people I've spoken to get to that number. And here's the interesting thing about those 400 people. Only about 100 of them ever did anything. And when I say did anything, I mean even got a single customer or another recruit. So let me say that another way. I have prospected, recruited, and trained about 300 people that did nothing. Do you realize how maddening that was to me in the beginning before I understood apathy? Every person I signed up, I spent time doing all these things. Each and every one, I was genuinely excited about them. I thought that person was going to be the one to finally get things going for me, and probably 25% of them I never even heard from after the first week. And look, I can guarantee you that every leader, every top earner in your company has personally recruited at least 100 people or more. And here's what's so funny. You've recruited 6 so far, and you're complaining because you don't understand why this isn't working. Look, this business starts out as a numbers game, and it evolves into a people business where you develop relationships. Now listen, why do 300 people sign up and do nothing? It's just the way that it is. It's apathy. Look, you present the opportunity. Let me know if you ever done this. Have you ever presented the opportunity and signed somebody up that said, I can do this. They've got a great personality. They need it. And then they just don't show up. Or you end up, worse yet, you end up being a babysitter. You become their counselor and their psychologist and their minister. They challenge you. You literally wind up carrying them on your back and dragging them. That's going to happen. It's interesting when you talk to people about securing their own future and you can't help them to be actively engaged in their own life. Look, to be successful in this business, you're going to have to work your job 9 to 5 and then build this 5 until you faint. It's a different mindset. It requires a radical change. You have to understand that it's going to be hard building a thriving residual income on a monthly basis. That's why most people won't say yes. See, it's easier for them to just complain and come up with excuses, to find reasons why they can't do it. Look, anybody can complain. If you do what's easy, that's complaining. If you do what's easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. See, if you do what's easy, then complain about your situation and circumstances. If you do what's easy, stand around and be a volunteer victim like everybody else. If you do what's easy, surrender and give up on your dreams, become depressed, bitter, and angry. Guys, anybody can do that. If you do what's easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what's hard, you keep coming back again and again and again. If you do what's hard, approach every person you know, talking to strangers everywhere you go, get up dressed every day, ready, prospecting, knowing somehow, some way, with a spirit of expectation, somebody is out there looking for an opportunity. Look, you can go outside right now and see a bunch of pigeons, but you're hunting for eagles, and they're not common. And if you do that over and over and over again, guys, somebody is going to show up. You're going to fail your way to success. You're going to recruit people that look promising, and they're going to disappoint you. You're going to, there are going to be people that should be there to encourage you and motivate you, and they're going to be the number one members of your discouragement club. Look, before things get better for you, they're going to get worse. When you have a dream, you will face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will, not might. Look, things are going to happen to you. Don't complain. Don't go around telling everybody. I got news for you. 80% of those people don't care, and 20% are glad that it's you. So just suck it up and keep moving forward. Look, you can play, this is important to understand, you can play a critical role in minimizing this number in your business, in dealing with mitigating apathy. And here's how you do it. It's leadership. See, leadership in this business is one thing and one thing only: influence. And what influence is, it's getting somebody to do something that they normally wouldn't have done if you weren't there. The first 72 hours of a person's business is life or death. When you are a leader, when you are a responsible sponsor, teaching people the correct way to do this business is critical. You need to teach them how to have a conversation, how to introduce the opportunity, how to introduce your product or service. You need to role play with them. You need to help them make their first couple calls. You need to roll your sleeves up and do that extra work. You've got to help people create immediate results. You need to treat your new rep like they're your newborn baby. You have to teach them to eat, to walk, literally to do everything. And my goal when I enroll a new person is I want to move heaven and earth and do everything I can to help create results for them. Whether that's getting a customer or finding a recruit, I know that it is my job to go out and make that happen. Because I treat every new person like this. I treat them like they're going to be my next top earner, but I operate with a sense of urgency as if they're going to quit tomorrow. So what are some other reasons for apathy? Well, uncoachability is a big one. Look, if your new person is not willing to follow the system and the training that you have, there's not much you can do with that. Ego is another. You know, some people are going to think they're above doing what we teach. They're going to think they're above network marketing. You know, I was one of those people in the beginning. I didn't feel comfortable asking people for favors. You know, I was a medical sales rep. I thought I was better than this. And then I failed and fell flat on my face, and I wised up. You know, here's another one: shyness. Some of you might be on this recording and you're like, you know, I don't have an ego. I'm just shy. I'm quiet. I don't like talking to people. Well, I got news for you. Shyness is ego. See, shyness is you using your personality as an excuse for you not being what you can be in life. It's a reaction to a negative event that you had at some point in your life where you said, I'm not going to step outside my comfort zone anymore. And I'm here to tell you that if you're going to be successful in network marketing, you will be uncomfortable every single day. Your life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. Doesn't it make sense that if you're going to get something you've never had, that you'll have to do something that you've never done before? See, your comfort zone is a self-imposed prison. Most of us live our entire lives seeking the approval of other people. Your worst enemy your entire life are other people's opinions of you. And can I tell you something can I set you free? They don't care about you anyway. And you know why they don't care about you? Because they're only worried about themselves. So it's important to understand that. Okay, on to mental enemy number 4. Last but certainly not least, attrition. The definition of attrition is the action or process of gradually reducing the strength or effectiveness of someone or something through sustained attack or pressure. So what is the sustained attack or pressure? It's all the things we're talking about. It's the 4 mental enemies of success. These are the things that are going to cause this. Let me ask you this. Have you ever recruited somebody who said something like this? Oh, you have no idea who you just recruited. Let me tell you who I am. You don't know who I know. You just met your first national regional director, whatever the top position in your company is. Have you ever had somebody say that when you signed them up? And then they leave the meeting and you never hear from them again? Yeah, me too. Guys, I'll be honest with you. When somebody says something like that to me, that's my first red flag that they're not going to do anything anyway. Or how about this? How about the person that gets in? This is probably even worse. They get in, they get their first 10 customers, they get off to a great start in their first week. And then all of a sudden they disappear. They get that first check and you're fired up and you think they're going to be it. And then they literally, it's like they went into the witness protection program. They got abducted by aliens. That's what we're talking about with attrition. And look, what's interesting is I've built my entire business and career in this industry literally just brick by brick. It's not about you hitting a grand slam. It's about you stringing together a bunch of singles, and that's how you're going to build your business, just little by little. And, what's interesting is this. It doesn't matter what stage people are in their business, attrition is always lurking. I've had top leaders in my team with huge organizations that literally were making thousands of dollars that disappear. So it's going to happen every step of the way. And what you'll find out if you've been around long enough, you will build this business in plateaus. And a lot of people get frustrated because they think they're starting over, but it's not starting over. It's just building higher and higher at each plateau that you go. So here's a question. Why does attrition happen? Well, I'm going to give you one of the biggest reasons. See, some people never develop a compelling reason why they're doing the business. They have no dream or positive vision for their life. They never develop that burning desire to make this work for them. See, you need something that's going to get you out of bed every single morning. I like to call it mind over mattress. Look, people with no why, they're on board and excited as long as things are going well, but the moment they hit a rough patch in their business, they're gone. Look, this business is just hard enough to weed out the people that don't really want it. And the bottom line is we don't want it to be easy anyway, because if it were easy, it wouldn't pay us as much money as it does for the people that go out and make this happen, and our company wouldn't need us. Now, is there anything that you can do to help minimize attrition? I would say absolutely yes. Here's the first thing. You have to understand that although this business does start out as a numbers game, it does eventually evolve into a business of relationships. So, when I look back at my first year in network marketing, I literally didn't recruit a single person. My first person, I had to pay for them to get in. And I look back and I think, why did I not quit? And I know the answer. It's because I developed relationships with the people that were on my team, my mentors. They became my friends. And what I will tell you is this: if you work hard serving other people, putting their needs before your own, and you build strong relationships with your people, they will quit on an opportunity, but they will not quit on a friend. And you will have people that will stick around this business far longer than they normally would if you have a relationship with them. Now, how do you develop a relationship? It starts with involvement. You have to get your people plugged into your weekly calls, to your meetings, to the trainings. You need to give them that positive association. Anybody that told you that you can become a top earner in your company without going to meetings and getting on calls, they lied to you. You have to get your new person, and you have to be immediately involved and plugged into these resources. Because what happens is this, is that when a new person starts their business, they are high, their excitement level is high. It's like a 10 out of 10. But their belief level is very low. It's like a 2 out of 10. And the problem is that when they go out and they start to face all of the adversity and rejection, when they start facing these four mental enemies, what happens is their excitement level will start to drop. And your excitement level will eventually drop to the level of your belief. And when your excitement level is at a 2, you are dangerously low to quitting. You're certainly not taking action every day with an excitement level of 2. So the power of association will build that belief in people. Every call they get on, every meeting that they go to, the training events, every one of them slowly builds that belief. You never know what it's going to do for somebody. And what that new person lacks in themselves, they start to get from being around other people that do believe. It's like osmosis. They start forming, different reference groups. You've heard you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, when you start plugging into these resources, you start spending time with better people who try to build you up and not tear you down. And that's important because you're going to have to learn to detoxify your life. You're going to have to look at the people in your life and ask yourself, what is this relationship doing to me? And in order for you to go to the next level, there are going to be some people that you're going to need to let go. There are some people that in your life, because of their negativity, they are emotional vampires. They will drain you. Look, you want to be around people that you can learn from, that you can grow from. And I know it's hard sometimes when that emotional vampire sleeps in bed with you every single night. And sometimes you just have to draw a line in the sand and you've got to have a serious conversation. You have to let them know that it's okay if you don't want to actively support me here, but you better not continue to try to knock me down. Look, when I first got into this business, I would have never thought it was possible for me to do what I have done and have what I have. I mean, we're talking complete financial and time freedom. I never thought that was possible for me. And if I would have told somebody, my friends and family, that was going to happen for me, they would have laughed at me and told me that I was crazy. Matter of fact, most of them did that anyway. But then here's an interesting thing that happened. I met some people by going to meetings and being at trainings who eventually became my mentors, who literally had everything that I wanted in life. And they said something to me that if you're listening to this recording and you're a leader, you need to hear what I'm about to say and you need to understand the power. They told me that we believe in you, even when I didn't believe in myself. And there are no words more powerful that you can say to a new person than I believe in you. And I'm saying that to you right now. I believe in you. See, you tell somebody that enough and they'll start believing it. And this is just something that most people don't get from their family and friends. So in closing, guys, we've talked about the 4 mental enemies. Let's just recap. Number 1 is rejection. Right? Number 2 is deception. Number 3 is apathy. Number 4 is attrition. And this is what I'll tell you in closing. Every one of you is going to have a ratio. You're going to have a certain number of people that you're going to need to recruit to find that handful of serious people that you're looking for to get you to the top of your company. And that's all you need to do is find a couple of serious people. And the best part is this, you don't even have to be the one to introduce them. Most likely you won't. They're going to come from somebody in your team. Now the problem is this, you won't know what that ratio is until you actually hit the position. Now some of you are going to get lucky. You're going to find that person right away that gets in and just tears it up. Others of you are going to be like me. It's going to take time. And I'm going to tell you this, it doesn't matter who you are. It's never going to happen on your time frame. It's going to feel like it's taking forever. And when you get there, here's what's funny. It feels like it happened overnight. See, I want you to think about this. Think about what you were doing 2 to 3 years ago. Doesn't that seem like it was just yesterday? Well, this business is going to be the same way, guys. It's going to feel like it takes forever. It's going to drive you crazy. But when it finally kicks in, I am telling you, look out. Look, here's what you need to do to get there. You've got to take action every day. You've got to work on yourself. You've got to get better every single day. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. The name of the game your first year is survival. Now, you're going to earn while you learn, but just understand, most of you are not going to make big money in your first year. Some of you are just not where you need to be right now, but you can start to get there. Change is inevitable, but growth is optional. You have to be intentional if you want to grow. And I am telling you, as somebody that speaks from experience, if you did half of what you are actually capable of, you would literally astound yourself. And I know I don't know you, but here's what I know about you, because you've made it this far on this recording. You have something special inside of you. You have greatness inside of you. You have the ability to do more than you can even begin to imagine. And just the fact that you showed up, the fact that you said yes to this opportunity, it says a lot about you. It says that you're uncommon. It means that you have a sense of taking responsibility for your own life. You have an uncommon desire to live your dream and control your destiny. And it's not going to be easy, guys, but I'm going to tell you this. It is absolutely worth it. I want you to imagine a life 7 Saturdays a week. Waking up every day when you're done sleeping. No money stress in your life. Complete financial and time freedom. Doing what you want to do when you want to do it. That's available for every single one of you. The only question is this: will you stick with it long enough to get there? Because I'm going to tell you, in the final analysis, success will prove to be a matter of just hanging on long after others have let go. That's the message for today, guys. I really hoped that you got a lot out of that training. Once again, if you like this message, Bob Heilig, please consider allowing me to become your virtual upline. I want to help you stop living small, start earning big. I want to help you become a top earner in your company. And if somebody passed this on to you, you can go to my website, bobheilig.com. That's HEILIG. And you can opt into my email list. There's a ton of free training and resources on there. And once again, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you. Excited to go on this journey with you. So thanks for listening in, and I will see you soon. All right, so there it is, the 4 mental enemies of success. I hope you got a ton of value out of that training. And I think, like I said earlier, I think for a lot of you that was probably a wake-up call. And listen, I don't want to scare away any of you that might be new to the network marketing profession, thinking, oh my God, this is not going to be as easy as I thought it was going to be, or look at all the difficulty and challenges that I'm going to have to put up with. Look, I'm just trying to give you the reality of building a business, and this is what success takes in this profession. And I think that if we can know that going into it, and if we can, be real with our people, I think a lot of times we do our people more harm than good by trying to paint too rosy of a picture, afraid that we're going to scare people away. Look, I'll tell you this, the right person is not going to be afraid if you tell them it's hard. They know that anything worthwhile is hard. It's okay to tell them that it's going to be hard as long as they know it's worth it. And I'll tell you, as much difficulty as I shared with you, I don't even remember it anymore. And it is going to be worth it. And the sooner you can just understand, these are some of the things that you're going to have to deal with. Every top earner has dealt with them. So don't let it knock you out of the game when you do come across one of these 4 mental enemies. Develop the mindset of a top earner. Start acting as if you were already there. You will get to your end goal much faster. So I hope you got a lot of value out of this training. For those of you that have heard it already, it's always a really good, always a good refresher for us to hear this message. So thanks so much for being here. As always, love you, appreciate you, grateful for you being a part of the community. And I will see you soon on the next episode. Take care.